What's poppin', everybody? This is the cartoon kid Ray Rawlins, and today we're back at it again, starting off the 2020 year fresh with a Courage the Cowardly Dog review of Dr. Quack, Amnesia Specialist. Now, before we get into this episode, we got Mr. Alex Payne here to give us the episode breakdown. So tell us what happens in this episode.
Well, while Eustace is up on the roof fixing the planks, his hammer comes flying out of his hand and hits Muriel in the head, and it gives her amnesia. So Courage goes and on the internet with the sassy computer. Gotta always give love to the sassy computer.
Oh, hell
Um,
yeah.
and asks for help for an amnesia specialist. So the Quack, a fixture of the show. He's on a lot of episodes. This is the first one he ever came in, though. Sees it and sees this as an opportunity to scam them, so he pretends to be an amnesia doctor and basically tries to rob the place, and Courage has to save the day.
I gotta say this before we get into moments. With this being a series where Courage always comes out to save Eustace and Muriel, I'm very shocked to see the police basically come in and save the day. I really am. Like, listen, and we're kind of slamming in here the moments. Slamming. That's a new word, the word of the day. We're getting into moments
Listen,
here.
but listen, the police are confident as hell still, though, because they was like, "What do you want us to do?"
I mean, yeah, but listen, they showed up. They showed up. It's like, what do you want us to do when he's talking to the computer? And
It's like someone is robbing.
help!
Someone is robbing us. Oh, well, what do you want us to do? Help!
the, the police. The police did come, and I will give them credit for that. The police ended up showing up.
It's so
So,
funny how all of them like run in there like in a grouped up like a little squad, and you hear this like little squeaking run.
oh yeah, oh yeah. They get the guy though, man. It like, listen, all the courage we reviewed on this channel, it's just crazy to see that
Well, they came. They
police
came and
came.
got Fred.
Oh yeah, they did. No, you're right. They did. They actually did come and get Fred. I forgot that episode. They
Yeah.
actually did come and get him. So it's crazy because it just makes you think. Now, because I remember once Courage sent out that little email, I suppose, through the computer, and police were making it look like they weren't coming. And I was thinking at that moment, I'm like, well, you know what? That kind of explains why there was no police really in the series, coming to save the day. As much as they could have intervened and helped in other situations, they didn't. They
Well,
don't
I would
really
say
show
it
up.
makes sense for a lot of them though, because like a lot of them are supernatural, and this one is like an
True,
actual
true. Yeah,
guy
yeah. And I
there.
was thinking
So,
that too. But this
and the same
obviously
thing with
wasn't
Fred.
supernatural. Fred wasn't supernatural either. But we blabbed on enough about the police. I just want to mention that. That was pretty cool that they showed up though. Let's get into moments. What are some of your favorite moments of this episode?
Listen, I love the moments when friggin' LeQuack is chasing Courage out of the house with the mallet, and Courage just keep hiding in these really weird and cartoony fashions.
Oh yeah.
Frig- I don't know why, but I just love the thudding sound that friggin' LeQuack makes when he runs through the house. Just it's like, oh my god.
Listen, you gotta point out that damn beak though. That nose beak, whatever the fuck you want
Yeah.
to call it. Just imagine him sticking that in a bitch's pussy or something. Oh god. Oh, he can freaking finger a bitch long distance with that motherfucker. But
Listen, my favorite moment in this episode has to be though Mr. Mouse.
I
Just
know.
friggin'
Yep.
just open the door, puts on his bib, and just bam, kick the dog shit out of him. And he had this nice, thick, hard sound effect too. Just bam. Thanks,
Encourage
Mr.
comes.
Mouse. No problem.
Mouse sounded black as hell. I loved it. I gotta mention, like, I don't know if it was me tweaking or my computer or whatever when I was looking at this, but I don't know. In this episode, like Muriel and even Courage, like their color was kind of, I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. Like, because in some episodes, Courage does look somewhat purpley, but then in other episodes, he looks pink. But in this episode, he looked like I wouldn't say like rose gold, like a very, very light whitish pink. Is that me tweaking or what? What do you think?
Maybe it's the because I wasn't really thinking about it, so I can't really
Because
speak on it.
he looked a little weird to me. I'm not even lying to you. And
Maybe it's because
Muriel's skin, I don't know, because they had that one episode. I think it was with this lost episode where her skin had to change colors. I think it was green. Yeah, it was green. But her skin looked extra dark in this one. Like, I don't know. Maybe it was something on my end that was kind of tweaking. I don't want to harp on it too much, but that was something that really stood out to me.
I think it might have been. I think it might have been because I mean, like I said, I really wasn't paying attention, but I don't think. But then again, I guess if it was a TV thing, it wouldn't have turned Muriel dark and Courage bright. If anything, it would have made both of them dark or both of them bright.
Right. I don't know. I need to look back.
Maybe it's the lighting, because like how it's because
true.
It's in the day and everything, so maybe that's what it is. But anyway, But yeah, Mr. Mouse is,
You gotta listen. I have to. I'm surprised we didn't mention this yet. Eustace freaking hammering the planks in and whatnot. That hammer, for one, looks way too damn big for his own body. I swear to God, that hammer looks freaking gigantic. Obviously, you can say cartoon humor and whatnot, but Muriel's just hollering at his ass, Eustace!
And he's just ignoring her.
And he was getting ready to hammer that shit in and ends up hitting his hand. That hammer just ends up flying. It just goes, boom, smacks her ass in the head. Your courage, oh! He was like, uh-oh. You obviously gotta mention too, when they're all sitting on the couch and whatnot, or Muriel's sitting down in her chair, and obviously Eustace finds out she forgets who he is, and instead of helping her, he basically says, you know what, you're a slave woman. It's fucked up.
But that's what you would expect from
you gotta cook, you gotta clean. No, of course, obviously, Eustace is a big asshole.
Listen, that was funny too. He was like, "Do you know who I am? No. Do you know who he is?
Yeah,
no?
Just sends Courage out, man. Oh my lord. But I do gotta say though, I guess you got any more moments before we slide into the final reviews and whatnot?
No, I think we covered them all. The ending was pretty funny when Eustace was like, "Who are you? Who am I?"
What happened to him?
But I don't remember the Quack hit him with the mallet.
Oh yeah.
Because he was like, "We don't want any," and then he was slapping. Then he slammed the door in his face.
Yeah. I gotta mention too. Obviously this little duck thing is French.
Medicine.
That's a reference to The Shining, man. We've been reading some Stephen King lately, but you gotta like how Dr. LeQuack. It was kind of like the fox. He was like, "Oh damn, worthless dog," or what was he? Oh, pesky little doggy.
Yeah, the pesky little doggy.
But final ratings and reviews. I'm gonna go first. This episode was very enjoyable, as most Courage episodes are, man. Very big positive, obviously, for this episode is that one, the comedy. Like these episodes in Courage the Cowardly Dog can be very comedic, and not a lot has to happen story-wise. This is builds off a simple premise. We mention this a lot in every single Courage review we do, but it's the truth. Like, they can have a simple-ass plot such as this, and the only thing they really have to worry about is having a nice setup. Obviously, with this, it was Eustace clocking Muriel upside the head with the hammer. Inadvertently, I might add. It kind of sounds fucked up. He did that inadvertently. He just didn't walk upside her and just go, "Mop!" and just hit her in the fucking head.
Yeah, because I was thinking when I was going to give the friggin' description of this episode, I was going to say, after Eustace hits Muriel in the head with the hammer, it's like, oh, wait, I think that might send the wrong message.
No, yeah, but Eustace is an asshole, but he's not that much of an asshole. You gotta cut him a little bit. Yeah, doesn't seem like it, but he really does. But anyway, this, like many Courage episodes, is very comedic, and it doesn't take away from it. Actually, it being comedic adds to the story. Okay, yeah. And that's what Courage the Cowardly Dog pretty much is a very comedic cartoon. Like, it's not one of those, oh man, I gotta think very heavily on this. It's one of those I can sit down and watch and get a couple good laughs in.
Depending on the type of cartoon. I say that.
Obviously, yeah, depending on the episode, but it's a good majority of them. Okay, so we had a nice new rating scale that we're going to be using in the beginning of the year, and each value is going to be measured at 2.5
2.5.
stars.
Yeah.
So it's going to be characterization, story, enjoyment factor,
Enjoyable.
and production. So
Yeah.
obviously characterization, you can argue. You know what? I'm not even going to say that. Characters were pretty much on point this episode.
Yeah. And I would say
Characters really
LeQuack is
were
a
on point.
nice. LeQuack was a very good, nice new character because this is his first appearance, so we gotta
Right.
go off of that. And I feel like he was very fun, and like his character was very, I guess, well flushed out. It's like
Uh-huh.
he just wanted
And
that money, and he could do what he could do to get it.
right, exactly. He was gonna rob him. He was not gonna do any amnesia and whatnot. And I like how they set it up at the end. He's like, "I'll be back," and obviously, he's back. I haven't. This is my first time seeing Courage the Cowardly Dog, so I don't necessarily know if he's been in another episode. But you basically clarified that here. As
Yeah.
far as Courage, with him being a little whimpering pussy at everything, he he stuck to his character. Eustace, the main asshole of them all, stuck to his character pretty well. And you gotta like how he basically was gonna take advantage of Muriel if Courage
Well,
didn't step in and
sounds kind of
intervene.
bad.
Well, obviously, come
He
on.
was gonna take advantage of Muriel if Courage didn't step
Listen,
in.
he's gonna have her working like a slave woman, as he said. So, and Muriel, obviously, she's supposed to be the nice soul, loving grandmother, whatever the hell you want to call her, hit with amnesia. But does she end up getting that shit fixed?
Yeah.
For some reason, I don't remember the end of the episode. I really don't. That just slipped my mind. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
Yeah, remember? Yeah, because LeQuack hit her with the friggin' mallet again.
Oh
That's
yeah,
in the
yeah,
police
yeah, yeah.
game.
Yeah. And she suddenly remembered everything. Okay. Damn, how the fuck did that just slip my mind? But no, characterization overall, spot on. So that's a big 2.5 right there out of my books. Now, story wise, as I said, nice, very nice setup. It wasn't story driven. It really wasn't story driven, but it did have proper setup. It did have a guideline which we wanted to abide by, which was okay. Obviously, we're gonna have to give Miriam amnesia. How we're gonna do it? Make Eustace pop her upside the head with a hammer inadvertently, and then just have this money hungry duck doctor, whatever you want to call him, try to rob their house and whatnot. They had a very simple guideline which they stuck by, and they did that by telling a whole bunch of jokes. So I'm gonna say it's not story driven necessarily, but I will say they stuck to it well. So I'm gonna hit it with a nice, I'll say 1.5. 1.5. It's not story driven. It's nothing too complex. Obviously, if it was like complex like The Mask and whatnot, obviously I give them a full 2.5.
Yeah.
But I say a nice 1.5, which will bring my rating up to a 4. Okay, 4 out of 10 so far. Now, enjoyability. Obviously, I'm a big sucker for comedy. I love comedy to death. So, obviously, we mentioned this episode was riddled with jokes. Okay, big sucker for comedy, abided by the plot line, and that made it very enjoyable to me. So I'm gonna hit it with a nice, I'll hit it with a 2, which will bring my rating up to a 6 so far. And then finally, production value. Music obviously on point, like you said. The nice thudding with the running and whatnot. I'm surprised. Like, I don't know why. Once I seen that beak, I want to hear like some duck noises. I don't know why. That just popped in my head. I'm like, oh, is this thing gonna be Quack? Like, his name is LeQuack, so you gotta expect to hear at least one little quacking noise or something every here and there from this little whatever the fuck you want to call him. So, I mean, it's not disappointing I didn't hear it. I don't know. That, you hear it in the title, Dr. LeQuack. I'm like, okay, is this thing gonna be freaking quacking a lot? I mean, if he was made to have those little sound effects, it probably would have been as annoying as Rick and Morty on episode 1 with Rick doing all his burping and whatnot. So it's kind of a good thing that's not in there. But overall, production wise, there's nothing really to complain about. But the little coloring, I don't know, that kind of screwed with my head a little bit. I don't know if it's something on my end. I don't think it is because I haven't changed shit. But I'll give it a nice I'll give it a nice 1.5. There's nothing to really complain about, honestly. Sound effects always good. They're on point. I like the nice hard thud from the mouse when he basically fucking sends Quack flying. So I'll hit it with a nice 1.5, which will bring my total rating up to a 7.5 out of 10. So I'm gonna leave it up.
You just can't hide from the 7.5.
No. But listen, at least it's reasonable this time. At least it's reasonable.
No, I agree. It's just funny that you still end up with your ubiquitous 7.5.
Now, granted, I'm not gonna lie. I was thinking this whole thing up as I'm going because I don't want to mess around and give it an 8 because obviously you got to be realistic with yourself. Like when you think of an 8 out of 10 episode, it's like, that's damn near perfect. Which this is kind of okay. It's not terrible, but it's not up to an 8 out of 10 episode in my humble opinion. Obviously, like I said, this is our first time using our little rating scale. We're going to look up some things and see if there's one. If anyone came up with one better, who knows? We might use that instead. But this is our own little thing. We're learning as we go along. So for this one, I'll give it a nice 7.5 out of 10. And I'll leave it to you. What is your rating on this?
Okay. I'll start with for story. I would say they followed the story pretty decently. I wouldn't say it was nothing because, like you said, the story wasn't too deep and the story wasn't nothing
complex.
Yeah, it wasn't nothing really complex and none of that stuff. So I'm gonna give the story aspect. I'm gonna give the story aspect a 1. Now, I'll give the characterization. I think I'm gonna give that a nice. I think I'm gonna have to give that a 2.5 because I think pretty much everyone was on. Well, actually no, I'll go with a 2, purely because I want to say because obviously Mirio is out of her character, but you would expect that from the storyline. But I don't know if they didn't really fully explore the amnesia part of her, other than Eustace telling her to be a slave woman or nothing. So I think I'm gonna have to give it a 2 off of that.
Okay.
I'll give the enjoyability. I thought this was a really enjoyable episode. I don't think it's one of the most enjoyable episodes. I think that just might be overwatch for me because I think I remember really enjoying this episode, but there's still a good bunch of spots that I did really enjoy. So I think I'm gonna give that. I think I'm gonna give it a 2 on that.
All right.
I think that's about fair. And for the production, I'll have to give it a. Since I really enjoyed a lot of the sound effects and shit. Now I wouldn't say it was I like the music, but it's not some of the most amazing music they ever had. So I'm gonna give that one a 2. Which brings my score up to a 7.
All right. See? And we're always laying around the same mark, 7 and 7.5. So, hey, man, that is what it is, man. I give this episode a 7.5, and you, Mr. Alex Payne, give it a nice 7. But that has been a review for Courage the Cowardly Dog, Dr. Quack, Amnesia Specialist, man. Y'all already know what it is. This is the Cartoon Kid channel where we talk cartoons, and we do it daily, baby. Back from our little mini break, kicking it strong, man. 2020 bringing in a new year. We're learning some new things, implementing a new rating scale. Obviously, it's going to get better from here on out. So, with all that being said, man, tell us what you think of this episode down in the comments box below. If you have any different shows that you want us to review, hey, toss them bad boys down there as well. And if you want to support the channel, smack that subscribe button, man. Do your boys a favor. With that all being said, we will see ya when we see ya. Peace out, everybody.